Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 career mode here with Southampton. We're back today with another huge episode with our Saints, still fighting on three fronts for an unlikely treble: the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League. We've got big fixtures today which could be season defining. First we travel to Tottenham in the FA Cup quarterfinals, looking to book a place at Wembley for the first time in the save. We've got more big games in the Premier League where it's so tight between ourselves, Manchester City, Chelsea and still potentially Spurs for the title. And then we will face Pep Guardiola's side in the Champions League quarterfinals coming up later in today's video. Loads to crack on with, so we're just going to dive straight into our first. It is Tottenham away in the FA Cup quarterfinals. As I say, a chance to reach the semi-finals, the furthest we've ever made it in the FA Cup, but it's going to be a tough test against Postecoglou's side. The team is well rested and I'm fielding a full strength lineup looking to make the final four. Come on, you Saints. Underway here in North London. Huge game this because for Southampton, trying to go for that unlikely treble that we've mentioned. There have been a couple of gameplay patches since I last played, so I'm a little bit nervous about how we're going to get on today, but it's a big episode. This episode is going to have big ramifications in our hunt for the treble, so need to get a couple of good results. I really want to do well in this competition. I feel like it's the most winnable of the three. I think the Premier League is going to be very difficult to dethrone Man City. In the Champions League, our first year in the competition, going to be very difficult to take out Pep Guardiola's side. They're so experienced. They know what they're doing in the competition. And even if we do, it's going to be really tough going into the semi-finals and beyond. So, FA Cup, I think with the teams left in it, this is our best chance at silverware this season. But this is the toughest test we could have had. We've got to get past Postecoglou's men and make it to the final four. Now we can break with Mohamed Kudus. And we've got bodies forward here. Kudus does well. Finds Livramento. Looks to slide it through. Leonardo's onside. Marcus Leonardo racing away and opening the scoring for the Saints. First time we've been forward, and I wrote this guy off too early. Marcus Leonardo has led our line fantastically. He's our top scorer in the Champions League, our top scorer in the Premier League, and he has been a fantastic replacement for Evan Nilsson. Took him a bit of time to get going, but as I said in the previous episode, you've got to give players time to bed in at a new club. And Marcus Leonardo, after nearly a full season at the club, is really finding his form when it matters most. Saints lead. Ake clears, but Kudus wins the header well. Now Stein. Tough ball, but Saint-Maximin flicks on Leonardo! Just before the break. Doubles our lead. That's a huge goal that gives us the cushion and might send us through to the final four. Yeah, perfect time to score that second goal. It just set up nicely for Marcus Leonardo. It was a bit of a strange goal because the initial dinked through ball didn't really have enough on it for Saint-Maximin, but he won the header and Leonardo just found himself in a brilliant position. Only real concern is that Mohamed Kudus looks as if he may have picked up a slight knock. I think he may have run it off though between the interval, and we've put ourselves in a fantastic position here, and we just need to keep Spurs quiet in this second half, and we'll be booking our first Wembley appearance of the save. And oh, that's a naughty tackle that. I wonder what colour the card's going to be. It's red. Lucas Gornaduath is gone, and I think Spurs' FA Cup chances are dwindling as well. Lucas sent for an early bath, and with the Saints leading by 2, now with the man advantage, it's all about game management from here. Can we see the game out and book our place in the semis? Free kick for Spurs here. Maybe a dead ball can get them back into the game. Mason Greenwood to strike. It does get them back into the game. It's a brilliantly struck free kick, and the former Manchester United man, with his side down to 10 men, pulls Tottenham back into the game. Well, that's another naughty tackle that. I think this time it's just going to be a yellow, but already down to 10 men, and now Kessie, who was brought on to play in midfield, also sent off for Tottenham. 2 red cards, not the first time we've seen it this season. Another naughty tackle. And as we're just trying to see this game out, Spurs trying to win the ball back. Kessie flies into the tackle, brings down Gomez, and that may well be enough to see us into the final 4. And yes, it will be. 2 red cards for Tottenham end their chances of a Wembley appearance. Fantastic victory for the Saints. Marcus Leonardo with both goals. And the 2 red cards in the second half really killed the game off for Spurs. They did get a goal back through Mason Greenwood, but it is the Brazilian that fires the Saints into the final 4. Let's go and find out who it is we will be facing in our first Wembley appearance of the save. Well, as we simulate through, I think one advance will do it, heading to Wednesday's fixture against Crystal Palace. We'll find out who it is we will face in the final 4 of the FA Cup, and it's Crystal Palace at Wembley. Our next opponents in the Premier League will be meeting them once again under the arch at Wembley as Newcastle face Liverpool. That's a cracking semi-final tie, but it will be Southampton against Oliver Glasner's Eagles. And speaking of, we'll jump straight into our next game, facing Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park. Chelsea host Arsenal in a big London derby, and Manchester City are at home to Aston Villa. Still so tight in the race for the Premier League title. Match day 30 of the season as we look to leapfrog City and jump up to the top of the table. Big clash here against Glasner's side. Come on, you Saints. A nice football by the Eagles. Mateus França nicely worked this, and Burmo, don't let him onto that left foot. Nice ball in, and Muric with a big save, and Tino will get it clear. First chance of the game falling to the hosts. Well, first half has passed us by there without Southampton really putting any pressure on the Palace goal. Best chance of the game fell to the host with Muric making the save, and yeah, we've not really got going today. Need a better showing in this second half if we are to stick with Man City at the top of the table. We're going to have to be pretty much flawless between now and the end of the campaign. 20 to play here, still deadlocked at 0-0. This will be a huge slip-up in our first league game of the episode. We cannot afford this, and we need to find a goal with Stein bursting onto it. Stein onto the right foot, gets his shot away. Comfortable enough for Kovar. We've not created anything clear-cut though. We just need one chance to fall for us in the area. Solé gets that down toward Prowse, who can hit them. Solé again. Now Gomez into Kudus, and we've just got to be patient. Stein into Marcus Leonardo. And it's over the top from the Brazilian, the man we would want it to fall to in the penalty area, but he fires over the top. Still, we remain deadlocked here, but Mbeumo is surely going to open the scoring. And it might be Manchester City's title to lose. Southampton look set for their second defeat in the Premier League. And if Man City have won, they could be opening up a 4-point gap at the top with just 8 to play. That is a killer blow from Bryan Mbeumo. Don't really want to be forced backwards because there is the whistle. And we just didn't create enough today. Fair play to Glasner's side. They had the better of the chances. They took the one real clear-cut chance that fell in the match, and Bryan Mbeumo conflicts just our second league defeat of the campaign. After the high of making the FA Cup semi-finals, we couldn't build on it, and we've given Manchester City a lead with just 8 to play. I think it's their title to lose. Well, let's take a look at the results around the ground where City must have lost. Hang on. City stay on 63, so must have lost. They lost 2-0 to Emery's side. Currently sat in 14th, having a poor season, but travelling to Manchester and keeping the title race alive. Chelsea lose as well, so all of the top 3 losing. Tottenham still have the game in hand, so could cut the gap to the top to just 3 points. And I wouldn't necessarily rule out Liverpool yet either. This could end up becoming a 5-way race for the title. Crazy scenes in the Premier League. But just jumping into our next one, Wolverhampton Wanderers at home at St Mary's, where we are a lot stronger, but we've just had too many draws this season. Need to turn some of those into victories, but with Manchester City to come in midweek in the first leg of our Champions League quarter-final, there will be plenty of changes as we look to once again leapfrog Manchester City, who have a tough game themselves, travelling to Newcastle. Big game here. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, you will have seen from my lineup plenty of changes for this one. I wouldn't say we're necessarily kind of waving the white flag in the Premier League, but while we're still fighting in those knockout tournaments, the FA Cup and the Champions League, I'm going to be focusing on them. We've still got a strong lineup out there today, even with plenty of changes, as Chelsea go a goal up already via Cole Palmer. But yeah, plenty of changes. Focus on that midweek Champions League fixture. So yeah, I don't want to say we're waving the white flag, but every chance there's another slip up here. Ward-Prowse. Up and over! And it's a brilliant save by the keeper. He is such a threat from those set pieces. Now his corner delivery is good into the middle. It's looping. And this time it's an easier, more comfortable save for the Wolves shot stopper. But his dead ball delivery is so dangerous. That's why I love him so much. Gillette goes down the right-hand side. Gillette back to Gomez, who is trying to get on the ball. And Gomez, still Angel Gomez! Lovely run. And the effort turned away. Teller back to Gillette. And Ward-Prowse running onto it. He can hit them from range. Ward-Prowse turned away again as an early barrage on that goal. Ward-Prowse swings the corner in looking for Solé, but he gets under it. And it's over the top. Much better from the Saints at the start of this second half. Just need to find that goal. Teller out wide. Teller skips away from Best down the left. Still Teller into Cam. And there is Angel Gomez who lets fly. Got hold of it, but again, the Wolves shot stopper in the way. Ward-Prowse from the other side. Good ball. Solé gets up and it will be behind for another corner. Ward-Prowse comes across to take, looking for that run at the near post. But again, Wolves survive the barrage on their goal. Still hunting it down. I still believe that we are going to find that breakthrough. Gillette into Stein again. Ward-Prowse and Kamaldeen Sulemana bends it but can't get it past the Wolves keeper. Been the story of today. Corners into Sekou Mara, headed away. Ward-Prowse is going to swing that back in. Solé at the back post. Did well, but keeper stands up to it again. Ward-Prowse into Solé and he gets too much on it. Well, guys, I think that might do it unless we can get it forward with this one last attack. Sekou Mara driving on, fouled, and the ref's pulled it up there. Why, ref? It's a second yellow for Aaron Barry, but play the advantage. Ward-Prowse from a long way out here. Up and over. Ward-Prowse comfortable enough for Solakis. And it's 2 points dropped at home for the Saints. Another draw in the Premier League. And it's just been the story of our season. Too many draws. Not enough goals scored to turn those draws into wins. And Manchester City with another chance to extend the gap at the top of the table. Let's go and see how they got on. Well, let's sim through to the first leg against Manchester City in midweek, Wednesday night at St Mary's. But before we do play this, let's take a look at the table where once again Manchester City dropped points. They look as if they've drawn. Yes, so Chelsea win to draw level on points with us. Spurs have not played yet. Liverpool win at Selhurst Park to keep themselves in the mix, but Man City kind of edging themselves towards the title, but a draw away at Newcastle leaves things still massively in the balance. So 2 points dropped, but not a terrible result, with Manchester City also dropping points. We now face Guardiola's side, first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. Normally our games with City are tight and cagey. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole tie is separated by just a goal. I don't expect there to be many heading into the first leg at home at St Mary's, looking to take a lead to the Etihad. Come on, you Saints. Yeah, this is going to be a really, really interesting two-legged affair, this. I had a really good save with Crystal Palace towards the end of last year's game cycle. And I faced Manchester City in our run to winning the Champions League. I think it was a semi-final in that save, and it was really tightly contested. We won it by, I think it was 2-1 over aggregate, with a last-minute header scored by William Patro. If you watch that save, you'll know how close our tie with Manchester City was. I'm expecting a similar thing here as we take them on in the quarterfinals. We drew 0-0 at the Etihad earlier on in the season, and then I think we beat them by 1-0 here at St Mary's thanks to a Marcus Leonardo penalty. So not many goals over the two fixtures in the league. We'll see how we get on, but I think it's going to be very, very tight and cagey. So Maximan into Downs. City in their shape. That's a nice ball into Martin. He's away from Cancelo to the byline. Still Ian Maatsen, still going. Ian Maatsen denied by Simon. What a run by the fullback. Rodri, Ballon d'Or winner now, of course, into Matt O'Reilly. Scored the winner for Brighton before the international break against Manchester City. In the save, now playing under Pep Guardiola. This is nice football. They're so patient in their build-up. You never know which way they're going to go. Haaland on the spin. And there's only one way the ball goes when Erling Haaland shoots, and that is into the back of the net. Manchester City lead at St Mary's, and you cannot give him an inch of space because he is such a deadly finisher in and around the penalty area. I was thinking he was going to cut back once more, and I just gave him way too much space. Drills it into the bottom corner, and Man City take the lead. Well, no JWP on the pitch, but Stein can hit them. Sem. Up and over the wall and off the woodwork. Oh my goodness, so close to the equaliser. Unai Simon got nowhere near it. Been taking lessons from JWP. And right at the end of the first half, Southampton inches away from an equaliser. Now Stein, just so difficult to find a route through, but Gomez sees a gap, and Gomez going on, but the shot is straight at Unai Simon. Just been the story of this first leg. We've not created anything clear-cut, and I think that might do it. Heading into the second, we will be trailing by 1. Not the worst result in the world, but work to be done in the second leg. Very, very tight and cagey as I thought it would be, but we're still in the tie, and that is the main thing. Yeah, you've got to remember that is only the halfway point of the tie as we take a quick look at all of the quarterfinals. All of them seem to be really evenly contested from the first leg and still lots to play for. But that does make it just one victory in our last 6 games in all competitions. Hitting a poor run of form at the worst possible time. But we've just got to jump into our next game and hope we can get back on the winning wagon. Taking on West Ham at home at St Mary's. I'm feeling confident we got a good record against them throughout the course of this save. We generally get the better of them. But Manchester City taking on Crystal Palace at home. I expect them to win that. Chelsea travelling to Craven Cottage, where they've got a really, really good record as well. And Tottenham and Liverpool both playing tomorrow on Super Sunday. So a chance to potentially move top once again. We just got to keep doing our job and hoping for the slip-ups. Come on, you Saints. It's another chance for the backup brigade today. I don't know how we didn't find a winner against Wolves, but they've got, oh my goodness, they've got the chance today to try and put it right, but Victor Gyökeres in just the 3rd minute gives West Ham the lead. Our defence that is normally so stable gives us that foundation, and we've gone a goal down in the first couple of minutes. It might be time just to give the title to somebody else. I don't think we've got the squad depth for it this year. I don't think we've got the quality. I don't think we've got the experience needed to win major honours. Gyökeres again. Through ball. Big save by Muric, and Gruev manages to head clear. You know, I mentioned it. I said earlier on in the save that we would go through a poor run of form. It's just a shame that it's come at crunch time. All teams go through that poor run, and I was expecting it at some point. It's just a shame that it's come now, but Angel Gomez does fire us in the equaliser just 10 minutes after going behind. One apiece here and back on level terms. Come on, it's not done yet. Let's not give up. Kirchu finding space. Zigankov. Nice ball into Kirchu, and Gyökeres on the spin. Kirchu, good block. Gyökeres again, and Muric with the save. End-to-end game this, and there might only be one more goal to win it, but it could honestly go either way, as now Teller looks to get away from Edson Alvarez and does get away. Nathan Teller going on, what a strike! Doesn't score many, the Nigerian, but that's a big one. I think just his 2nd of the campaign, and from Muric making a big save down one end, the Saints go down the other and flip the game on its head and now lead from a trailing position. Goal at the Etihad pretty late on, as Crystal Palace leading by 4 goals to 2. What a turn up that is. And if we can hold on to the victory here, we will be heading to the top of the Premier League as Lunin claims the cross. That is going to do it. No time for West Ham to get forward. And with that result coming in from Manchester, Southampton will be heading top of the league as we head into the 2nd leg of our Champions League last 16 against Manchester City. What a turn up in match day 32. Yeah, brilliant turnaround victory that after going a goal down early on. I guess that is the good thing about conceding so early. You've got time to turn it around. But before we head into the 2nd leg, let's see how the table looks. 6 games to play. Chelsea draw level on points with us, which means they must have beaten Fulham at the Cottage, which they did. Manchester City dropped to 3rd now, 2 points behind. I'd say it's between ourselves, Chelsea and City with 6 games to play. Still lots of work to do, but it is in our own hands as we lead the table on goal difference. But switching our attention once again to the Champions League, Manchester City away at the Etihad. We've got a huge mountain to climb here if we are to turn this first leg deficit around. We trail by 1 from that first leg, and heading to Manchester, I'm expecting another really tight and cagey game. Just got to try our best, do everything we can to turn the tide. Come on, you Saints. Tell you what, it's down this left-hand side again that we've got most of our joy. I've said it before when we faced Man City. I do feel down their right-hand side is where they're weakest, and I'm just telling Ian Martin to play really, really high and help out St Maximin down that side. And there is space to exploit as Martin on the half volley, kept out by Simon, but the flag goes up. As I say, down this Man City right-hand side is where we're going to get any joy if we are to break through. Yusuf into Van Dijk. Drilled pass into Stein, who can step away. And Stein going on. St Maximin through to Marcus Leonardo, and Unai Simon stood up really well. Doesn't look like too much of a chance, but if the keeper goes down there, Simon's shot probably loops over the top of the Spaniard. Really good, patient goalkeeping. As Stein has it again. Stein onto the right foot, but that's disappointing. 20 to play. I'm trying everything I can, but just cannot find a breakthrough. Corner for City, and their game management's just been so good in this second half. I'm really struggling to get the ball off them. That will come for Muric, though. Who goes early to Marcus Leonardo, and Leonardo sent through. Has he got the pace to get away? Cancelo's getting back at him. Marcus Leonardo. Oh, big save. Rodri, and there is the whistle. And I said it would be tight. I said it would be a narrow margin of victory. And that's exactly how the game panned out. Man City through to another Champions League semi-final under that man Pep Guardiola. Southampton's first year in the competition. We gave it a really good go. We held our own, topped the league phase table, made it to the quarters, but against domestic rivals Man City, it was just one step too far, and the Blues are heading to the semi-finals. Well, as we head back to the menu, I want to take a look just very quickly at our objectives. Of course, in the Champions League this year, the board had set the objective of reaching the semi-finals. We fall one hurdle short as we're knocked out in the quarters, but I don't think they're going to be too disappointed with that, to be honest. We gave it a real good go, and losing to Manchester City, well, it can happen to the best of teams, but all still to play for domestically, with an FA Cup semi-final to come in the next episode, and I'm certainly not closing out on that defeat. We will travel to Ellen Road for match day 33. Man City are away at the Cottage, where Chelsea have just won. And Chelsea themselves host Tottenham on Super Sunday. Liverpool travel to West Ham. But I want to make sure we close out today's episode with a victory after our knockout in the Champions League. It's been a mixed bag of results today. The highs of winning the FA Cup quarter-final, the lows of being knocked out of the Champions League, and a few mixed results in the Premier League. Let's make sure we end on a high with another win in the league to remain at top of the table. Come on, you Saints. Looking for a fast start here at Ellen Road. Love an early goal. Downs doesn't get many, strikes it early, and Junior saw it all the way. Oh, that's a terrible kick out. Marcus Leonardo! Oh, what a brilliant finish by the Brazilian. Terrible by the keeper. Oh, but we will take that. And we need it as well. We've been through a little bit of a rough patch. That is atrocious, though. It's not an easy finish from Marcus, because he's sort of running at it at a strange angle, but he gets enough on it to get it over Junior, the keeper. And it just, with the backspin, takes it into the back of the net. The Leeds fans behind the goal cannot believe it. But for the Saints fans, what a fantastic start. Ball slipped through to Vought. Nice feet. Beats Yusuf. Gets the shot away, but Taylor does well. Still has it, though. Vought shoots, and Leeds turn in the rebound. A scrappy equalising goal. But again, Southampton conceding in the Premier League. Our defence has been shot in the last couple of weeks. And it's one apiece once again in the Premier League inside the opening 15 minutes. Well, into the second half. Game quietened down after a frantic start, but we can't afford another slip up. Yes, we've been lucky with Manchester City and some of the other teams dropping some pretty poor results, but it won't continue, and we won't be champions unless we go on a good run between now and the end of the campaign. We've got quite a nice fixture list, so we've got to make the most of that. As Kudus at the back post, it'll come for St. Maximin, and that will fall behind for the corner. We've got a nice run of fixtures, and we can't afford to have a poor run of form between now and the end of the campaign. Well, only 10 to play here. Still, we remain deadlocked at one apiece, and I'm sorry guys, I've just not been good enough today in my gameplay. Really poor, and we might end up losing it. Big save by Muric that keeps us in the contest. That could have been detrimental to our title hopes. I mean, a draw is still not great, and again we've given it away. I've just been so poor today and so frustrated with myself, and still Leeds could win it, but Taylor does well. Just not been good enough today, and it might have ended our title hopes unless Nathan Teller forward to Leonardo. It's a terrible pass. I'm sorry, guys. I've let everyone down. This has not been good enough, and it's going to be another draw in the Premier League. Our kryptonite is draws in the Premier League, and it's going to end up losing us the title. There's the whistle. Southampton dropping points again and probably dropping off top spot. I'm so annoyed. Well, yes, guys, we will leave it here. A disappointing way to end the episode, but with Liverpool and Spurs losing, I think that makes our 5-way title race cut down to 3 horses. Ourselves, City and Chelsea now with a pretty healthy lead with just 5 to play. For Chelsea, a win against Tottenham, and Manchester City also back to winning ways with a 4-2 victory over Fulham. We now drop to 3rd in the Premier League table. It is just a 2-point gap to Chelsea at the top, but with the form we've been in, we've got to sort this out if we do want to be crowned Premier League champions. We'll be back in the next episode with our FA Cup semi-final. We'll play the majority of our final 5 games. But guys, I can only apologise for my my poor gameplay today. Just not good enough. Knocked out the Champions League and ground to make up in the Premier League. But it's still going well in the FA Cup, so there is a silver lining there. A great chance to reach the final, and our first opportunity to play at Wembley coming in the next episode. I hope you have enjoyed, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Take care and peace.